Will no contact work if your ex has lost feelings? This is Coach Lee, and I'm going to talk to you about that. So the first thing is that after a breakup, if the two people are to get back together, there must be some kind of reset. And that's where no contact can play a big part in that. The reason is because if they have lost feelings for you, then giving them more of the same does not make any sense. In fact, it will push them away further. And so there must be some sort of realization for your ex to look at you differently, to look at you as they used to. And they have gotten to a point where attraction for you, mostly emotional attraction, but it can be physical if there have been extreme changes, because we're all human, we're all imperfect, and we all are attracted to things about another person. And many times those things are beyond our choice. We don't choose to be attracted to someone who is a certain way physically in terms of how they look. But usually in this case, what we're talking about is emotional attraction having fallen. And when emotional attraction falls, it takes time for that to come back, for that to change to where they feel emotionally attracted to you again. And it's usually based on learned experiences. And that usually involves time passing to where they can reflect on things, they can experience things, and they can begin to see you as they once did, or to see you differently than they do now. So if you give them now, if you give them where they see you in the moment, then you're only giving them what pushed them away to begin with. And so that's why people become so frustrated. And they talk to one of the coaches on my staff and they'll say, I don't understand. I'm doing all these loving things. I'm making these grand gestures of love and affection and kindness. And the other person is becoming colder. They're responding negatively. They're being cruel, or they don't even respond at all. And it makes no sense. And people say, if this person were a better person, they would want to work on it. I don't understand why after we've been together all this time, they don't even want to work on it. And I'm doing these things and they are acting as though my efforts and even me as a person doesn't do anything for them. And that's because in that moment, it doesn't. It takes time to where that's the case. But in the moment, you have to realize a reset has to happen in order for you to have a good chance of getting them back. Now, as I say in almost every video, does no contact work every single time? No, it doesn't. And I don't know anyone who claims that except for sensational titles to drive clicks when they actually tell you that no, it doesn't work every time. But it does not work in every situation, but it works a lot. It works every day. And for people who say exes don't get back together, if they took a moment and thought about that, they would think of people who broke up and got back together. It happens all the time. And it can happen for you. And you will have the best chance of that happening by understanding how some of these things work. So how do you get this reset? How can you make this person see you as they once did, or to see you differently than they do now at least? First of all, you can't make them, but you can certainly give them the best version of you, the changed version of you, and something to have to contemplate. Not just to flippantly think about, but to actually have to reflect on and to impact change within them. And that brings me to the great conundrum of breakups. You have to be willing to walk away. You have to be willing to do what they're doing. They have said, I don't want to be with you anymore. I'm breaking us into two. We were one because we became one in this relationship, and I'm breaking it back into two, where we are two separate people going our own way. You have to show that you can go your own way. Because if they think that they can break up with you and do whatever, and at any moment, at any time, if they changed their minds or even just wanted you for a day or two, they could just get you back. Not a problem, because you are just permanently attracted to them. Then that's not attractive. It's not something that they will be pulled to, especially when you consider that it is the situation now that they are not attracted to you in the way that they were. And so there is nothing to pull them in this moment. That's why there has to be a reset. And that's why you have to be willing to walk away. They have to see you as strong enough to be able to leave them. And this really flips the tables, because your ex is the one who walked away from you. And so you are seen as the person standing there hoping to get the relationship back, hoping to get them back. But if they see you as the one having walked away, that's when things can really change, and they can actually have to really look at the situation in reality. That they cannot get you back whenever they want you. That you are not a permanent option for them. That's very important. You're not a backup plan if they can't find someone better, or when they've had their fun and they've gotten to experience so-called freedom. Now, it's very important that you understand what walking away is, because it's not posting pictures of yourself on social media with someone else who's a potential romantic partner. It's not telling all your friends that you've moved on in order to try to get that message to your ex. And it's not telling your ex, I'm moving on. I'm not a permanent option. So it's not giving away your strategy to your ex. And yes, this is strategy. Is it manipulation? Not really. It's simply bowing out gracefully instead of making yourself look less attractive and going beneath your own dignity by begging, chasing, pleading, and being a permanent option. It doesn't mean that when they break up with you that you don't tell them, I want to be with you. I want to work on this. I'm willing to. I think we're great together, so I disagree with the breakup. Those things are good. You should tell them that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but there comes a point after you've done that when it has not impacted them, that you need to show them you are strong enough not only to stay away, and that's where no contact comes in. Showing them you can stay away is important, because a lot of the times people will say, why are they blocking me? I haven't even done anything. They blocked me after they broke up with me. Well, a lot of the time that's because they think you will reach out to them, you will pester them and bug them and act obsessive over getting back together with them. And it's really pretty arrogant when you think about it. There are some arrogant, egotistical people out there who think that other people just want them 24/7, that they are just wanted and so super sexy that people can't take their eyes off of them and would do anything to get with them. And in the high of the breakup, where your ex has been the one to dismiss you, your ex will probably think that about you. In fact, most people report that when they break up with someone, they expect them to reach out. They expect them to pursue and to continue to do so, because the experience of dismissing them by breaking up with them makes this other person think they are so far above them that yes, of course, they would want to be with them. They would keep fighting because it's such an opportunity, because they are so dang attractive. So you can't give them that. You have to show them that you are of high value, that you are attractive. And when people are high value and attractive, they can stay away and they can actually walk away. And so your ex has to at least see that as something you can do. So I'm not saying that you walk away and make posts about it. That's cheesy and will not impact your ex. It will do the opposite, because it will look like you're trying to impact your ex. So don't do that. No contact will cause enough preoccupation to where your ex is wondering about you, not hearing from you. So you're showing them you're not pursuing. You're showing them that you can walk away. And that's what we want your ex to see. So that's a strength of no contact. Take a quick second and get more information on my emergency breakup kit. There's a link in the description below, or you can go to myexbackcoach.com for information on my emergency breakup kit. Number 3, attraction is the front door. Attraction is not the be all and end all of a relationship, but it is the front door. It is what gets us into the potential with this other person. We have to like what we see, and we have to like what we experience with them. So those are physical attraction and emotional attraction. And those have to be there, at least to an acceptable level. And so when a breakup happens, it's because an extended period of time has passed where attraction has been significantly lower than is acceptable for this person, because we want to be attracted to the person we are with. We want to like what we see, like what we experience, enjoy what we feel when we're with them. Those are the elements of attraction. And if they are not there, then there is no motivation for the other person to be in the relationship or to work on the relationship. So that's why you can't start with asking the other person to work on it. And that's why so many people are baffled. I asked them to work on it. Why won't they work on it? Why would they throw away 8 months? Why would they throw away 2 years, 10 years? Why would they throw away a marriage? Why would they throw away this relationship instead of giving it a chance, instead of working on it? Because they're not motivated to. It's sort of like if I told you I would pay you 50 cents an hour to do my gardening. Well, if the money's not enough, and it's not enough to motivate you to want to do that, and you don't like gardening, then you don't want to work on it because there's no motivation. And that's where your ex is, unfortunately. And don't take that too bad because attraction will go up and down, and we're going to work on getting it to go back up. You and me, I'm telling you how to do that in this video. Just stay with me. So if you don't approach it as, let's work on this, after you've already told them that you're willing to, that you think the relationship is great and you want the relationship instead of the breakup, if then you shift, you've learned there needs to be a reset, and you're going to take that path in terms of attempting to reattract your ex and get back together with them. So you're not going to be pestering them, begging, pleading, asking them to give you another chance or to work on it. But what you are going to do is you're going to show them strength, that you can stay away, that you cannot contact them. That way their ego does not continue to go up and they don't continue to try to get away from you, because if you won't let them go, they will keep wanting to go. If you won't let them be gone, they will keep wanting to be gone. If you won't let them escape, they will feel trapped. And if they feel trapped, they cannot feel attracted to you. So they have to feel free. It's difficult to do. I understand that. But find the will. Because if you want your ex back, you have to do that. You have to give them the breakup and show them that you can stay away. Not only is this attractive, but it also allows them to look at the situation for what it is, that they could lose you. Because before they didn't think that. They thought they could get you back if they wanted you back, and that they were the ones dismissing you. But if they have to actually look at the relationship, now you have a chance. Because instead of them feeling like you're pressuring them to stay, this is coming from within them. It is back into the realm of decision making. So they made a decision to break up with you, but now it's as though they have gone back to that. So that's very important. It's a big step. It's not where you want it to be yet because you're not back together with them, but it is a step, and it's an important step. And now, when they are looking at the situation and trying to make a decision again, this is when you have the opportunity to be attractive, because a lot of times they will reach out to you. This is where you can interact with them and you can show that strength, because you're not going to beg or plead. You're not going to get emotional or want to talk about the relationship, but you get to do what you did when you two first started dating, courting, whatever you want to call it. You got to be attractive by interacting with them. And this is a case of where they have reached out to you. That's the goal. That's the ideal. And once that's happened, you get to reattract them. And again, don't focus on, we should work this out, or let's try, or let's talk about the relationship. You need to focus on attraction. If you focus on that, the rest will take care of itself in this early stage of getting back together. And so that's very important. I talk about that a lot in my emergency breakup kit, including talking about temperaments, how different people have different temperaments and they respond to breakups and getting back together differently than people with other types of temperaments. And that's in the emergency breakup kit. But the bottom line here is that if you give them the opportunity to be reattracted to you, you have a fighting chance. And that brings me to number 4. It comes down to respect. And this is different when we're talking about typical male to female respect and female to male respect. And I'm a pretty traditional guy. And so that's the angle I'm going to approach that from, is that respect is something that has to be there in order for attraction to matter. A person can be attracted to you, like you, want to be around you, but if they don't respect you, then they are likely not going to make the effort to try to get back together with you, or to even get together with you at all. They will sit back. Now, some people do that a lot to begin with, especially women. A lot of times will expect a man to make the first move because that's leadership, that's masculine, and that's fine. But men, when a woman respects you, she is more willing to help you out with that, to give you clues, and to make some moves on her own. And when we're talking about men respecting women, we're talking about after a breakup in this situation, that's where when he understands that you will not chase him, and when she understands that about you guys after a breakup, if the other person understands you won't chase, that you have already said you'll work on it, but now you are being a mature adult and you're giving them the breakup if that's what they say that they want. You're not going to force yourself to stay in their life. Once they realize that, that's respect that is needed as well, because they realize it is going to take some effort on their part. When you stop making the effort because your ex has broken things off, it's their decision. And when you stop taking it upon yourself to fix what they broke, unless they don't have any common sense, they understand they will have to do some things. So that's something I want to take off of your mind, is that if you back away, if attraction can be built back to some degree and there is respect, your ex will know they need to do some things, because a lot of times people want to know, well, I think that they want to get back together with me and they don't know what to do and they're just not going to do anything. If they want to get back together with you and they think they have made the mistake, unless they are some kind of sociopath, they know the ball is in their court. If they made the mistake of breaking up with you and now they want you back, they know it is in their realm to do something about it. And if they think that when they make a mistake and dismiss you, that you should be the one running back and trying to fix it, you don't want to be with them anyway. And that's where number 5 comes in. When you can teach your ex a lesson. And that sounds really arrogant, but I don't mean it that way. I'm just saying when your ex learns that you won't chase them down, it takes away the temptation to use breakup as a manipulation against you in the future. So if you two do get back together and things aren't going well, they won't have the temptation to break up with you just so you'll chase them down and they can get that ego stroke. They learn something about you. And it's a permanent lesson, usually, where they can know that you will be able to walk away, to function, to have other options, to have a life without them, and to be strong enough to stay away from them. That's important for them to know, because if they think you can't, they are going to start feeling more attractive than you. And when that's out of balance, that can lead to a breakup. So if the breakup happened, your ex lost feelings. This is not a unique situation. When a breakup happens, the person who did the dumping lost feelings. And yes, there may be other circumstances that contributed to it, but if they had enough attraction towards you, if their feelings were strong enough, they would have done whatever it took to overcome that. So don't let that play around in your mind that you've got some sort of unique situation, but that they really want to be with you really badly and they just can't. That's almost never the case. If they are attracted to you enough, if they are motivated enough, they will do what it takes. And so your job is to show them you won't be the one to fix what they broke. And that's how no contact can work if your ex has lost feelings. And the video I suggest you watching after this one is called This Happens When You Don't Contact Your Ex. And that's going to be in the end screen here on YouTube, and you can click on it and you can watch, because you need to know the things that can happen when you go into no contact so you can see if progress is being made. And that's here in the end screen on YouTube, so you can click that and you can watch that video. This has been Coach Lee, and as always, thank you for watching.